like I said, I know players that play now for the national team of Indonesia, like Sandy Walsh is a friend of me.
Okay.
He came to Indonesia. He didn't have the possibilities before, like playing for Belgium. That's maybe not the question. But if you ask me now, because I quit the national team because of the problems with the coach, like 6 years ago, if you ask me, should I have chosen for Indonesia? Maybe I would say yes.
I think there's no better answer than what Radja said.
Yeah.
Because it starts all from the structure. From years, Europe has already had the structure, even for women's. It's not as professional as the men's, but they've already had the structure for, let's say, youth programs.
But I think now things are getting better in Indonesia. They have to grow, they still have to make a lot of progression. And the difference between Europe and Indonesia is that the structures they've always been there. So for a young guy to grow up and to become better was more easier in Europe and in Belgium than in Indonesia. I think that's the only difference.
Saya bersama dengan dua orang yang luar biasa. Tepat di samping saya ada Radja Nainggolan. Beliau juga pernah bermain untuk klub di Belgia dan juga di Roma tentunya. Yang di sebelah sana ada Mbak Sabreena. Sabreena pernah bermain untuk Persija Jakarta dan juga saat ini aktif di klub bola Australia. Oke, saya langsung saja. Bagaimana rasanya kembali ke Indonesia, Sabreena?
Aku udah 4 bulan di sini sih, so of course aku happy banget bisa pulang karena emang Indonesia tuh rumah aku. So it's very good, makanan aku udah kangen, terus weathernya sih.
Makanan favorit yang ada di Indonesia?
Apa?
Sabreena?
Aku, empe-empe sih.
Empe-empe?
Ikan asin.
Okay, Radja, how Indonesia for you?
No, I think it's nice. It's my second experience. I love to be here. I love to discover always more because it makes me curious coming more and more. So yeah, it's something that has always been a part of me, and yeah, I want to know the other part of myself as well.
We all know you from Batak. Please say Horas.
Horas.
Okay, what's Indonesian food favorite for you?
What is Indonesian?
What's
Indonesia.
your favorite Indonesian food?
Yeah, I don't know the names. I ate everything. I tried everything. We went to a few restaurants together as well. We tried to eat even the spicy stuff.
Yeah.
We eat Balinese stuff, and yeah, I try everything. Not everything.
Everything.
I don't
spicy
like everything.
food.
I don't like everything, but I try everything.
Oh, okay. Sabreena first. Sabreena, how do you feel about being chosen as an ambassador for U-17 World Cup?
Tentunya aku honored banget.
Yeah.
Ini kan pertama kali ada Piala Dunia di Indonesia.
Yeah, this is the first time.
Yes, it's very exciting. Then for me to be chosen, it's a very honorable thing as well because I also bisa menjadi a figure buat perempuan bisa for football, especially as well as for men's as well. So it's an honor.
Okay, how about you?
For being ambassador of a World Cup in Indonesia, it's something special for me. I'm honored to be here. It's like I said before, it's always a special feeling to come to Indonesia. And yeah, I think it's a nice project that Indonesia is having the World Cup. To organize the World Cup here.
Yeah.
Being there a part of is something special for me, and I hope that I can help a little bit with my experience to bring Indonesia a little bit more in the vision of the world.
Yeah. And for you, Sabreena, this is U-17 World Cup. Is this the first time in Indonesia and hosting and participating? What the opportunities do you see for Indonesia as a debutant, and what are your hopes for Indonesia?
So tentunya kita semua mau Indonesia menang.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone in Indonesia wants Indonesia to win, tapi kan ada banyak faktor. Maybe kalau di other countries mereka lebih lama latihan, udah dari kemarin kan. Kalau Indonesia mungkin baru-baru sekarang dan baru mereka ke Jerman kan, cuma 2 bulan di situ.
Betul.
Ya, tapi from this, it's a lot of exposure for Indonesia to even hold the World Cup in Indonesia. and this is maybe the first World Cup Indonesia is in, right?
Ya, dan semoga menjadi penggerak juga ya pada akhirnya.
Jalur clear for Indonesia to be more noticed in football
Yes.
around the world.
Yes, of course. And for you, Radja, what opportunities do you see for Indonesian as a debutant? And maybe hopes for Indonesia?
As a debutant, the team, I think we need to be realistic. In life, you have to be realistic. If we all hope that Indonesia will win the World Cup, we all will tell lies, you know what I mean? But I think the best result is giving everything, playing with the maximum of their strength, and hope to get some good results. Because at the end, I think all those, let's say, kids, those young guys, they are honored to play it. They're proud to play it, and I think they want to make Indonesia proud. So that's the only hope that they have, and they have to give it all.
Yes, of course. In Belgium, it is a quiet concert with early coaching for soccer. The young talents of Belgian players are almost successful in Europe. What you can share and maybe a message for PSSI, Indonesian Soccer Federation, regarding early coaching?
Yeah, but it's just it's the culture. It's already in Europe, you know, so it's more easier to get to watch the players, to know the players, to seek them.
Yeah,
it's always difficult to come to Indonesia, to another Asian country, to scout players, to watch them. The structures are different because I talked even before to an ex-player, an Indonesian ex-player. He told me that there's not a lot of structure even for the young players to, let's say, a team of Serie A Indonesia. There are not all the youth teams, you know, because that is missing maybe, you know.
Yeah.
But I think now things are getting better in Indonesia. They have to grow. They still have to make a lot of progression. And the difference between Europe and Indonesia is that the structures they've always been there. So for a young guy to grow up and to become better was more easier in Europe and in Belgium than in Indonesia. I think that's the only difference.
Ya, kalau Sabreena melihatnya bagaimana? Karena kan kalau untuk menjadi besar juga kita harus world, Europe, begitu, semuanya harus tahu bahwa ada Eropa di sini.
I think there's no better answer than what Radja said. Because it starts all from the structure. From years, Europe has already had the structure, even for women's. It's not as professional as the men's, but they've already had the structure for, let's say, youth programs. Udah dari kemarin. Dari kemarin, betul. Kalau Indonesia aja belum punya liga buat cewek, apalagi program buat cewek juga. Tapi buat cowok ya, semoga dari Piala Dunia U-17 ini, there will be more youth programs, there will be more attention to the younger ones to develop them into better players. And hopefully more players will go outside to Europe and be better players in Europe and then come back and help the national team.
Tapi memang betul, harusnya kan sepak bola itu tidak hanya untuk pria saja, karena di sini ada sepak bola wanita juga. Kalau dari kacamata Sabreena, bagaimana sepak bola Indonesia hari ini melihat wanita begitu?
Of course, for women it's not as developed. So, tapi kemarin kan ada
tidak kurang terwadahi dengan baik ya.
Tapi kemarin ada Piala Dunia, so dari situ aja udah banyak banget yang penontonnya, dan dunia juga cukup banyak banget. So it shows that buat pemain sepak bola wanita itu ada, there's like fans, there's the structure, and hopefully from there bisa lebih gede dari situ. Oke,
dan hari ini mulai membaik ya. It's a better
tapi
more
Indonesia belum.
Tomorrow.
Pelan-pelan.
Semoga berawal dari kamu ya.
Amin.
Oke, saya ke Radja lagi. Radja, you said that if 18 years ago the PSSI was like it is today, you will probably vote for Indonesia. What the difference do you see between PSSI no and 18 years ago?
No, but it's only the difference. Already seeing players that have like other nationalities like me. I'm from Belgium and my dad is Indonesian. Like a lot of players that are mixed, that live in Europe and maybe don't have the possibilities to play in a good national team. They already come to Indonesia and play for Indonesia. They choose for Indonesia as well. So if you have the choice to go to Indonesia, where there are already a lot of players with the qualities and structures from Europe coming to play for Indonesia, it makes it easier to make a choice to play for Indonesia. If I was the first one and came to Indonesia to play with only players from Indonesia, it makes it difficult for me to say, okay, I will come and play for Indonesia. You know, it's not. That's the difference between now and from before. But it all has to meant with how everything is developing. Because if you go back, like I played the first game in 2009, or 15 years ago. If I have to choose 15 years ago to Indonesia, maybe I would have said no because of how football was at that moment. You know, everything is getting better now the last years, and I hope it becomes only better. But that's the difference you see now, the day, and like 50 years ago. That's a huge difference in Indonesia. I came here the first time in 2013, like 10 years ago, and I see already a lot of changements. I see clubs that are having their own structure, and this is something that needs to grow. Like I said before, even about the young guys, there is no U9, U8, U10, U11, U13.
Yeah.
You know, to play already on a good level of football, I see soccer schools. I see all those small things that it's good for a young kid to do and to become better. But there is no competition. And you need to be competitive already from a young age to grow up and arrive in the first team and be competitive for maybe already all your teams growing up. You have to be competitive, and I think this structure is the next thing, and I hope it's for Indonesia that will come.
And you say, how about the regulation now or 80 years ago?
But what the
Regulation?
How do you mean the regulation?
Regulation for pemain asing.
So, like I said, I know players that play now for the national team of Indonesia, like Sandy Walsh is a friend of me.
Okay.
He came to Indonesia. He didn't have the possibilities before, like playing for Belgium. That's maybe not the question. But if you ask me now, because I quit the national team because of the problems with the coach, like 6 years ago, if you ask me, should I have chosen for Indonesia? Maybe I would say yes.
Okay.
If I
really?
Could if I could turn back.
Okay.
Yeah, no, honestly, because like Asian is big. Like if maybe I played for Indonesia was maybe earlier, more shown around the world. Because when a player of Rome or Inter Milan would play for Indonesia, that would be something special. So afterwards, I would say, maybe if I had chosen for Indonesia, we're maybe 10 years. Farther than 10 years behind, So, but you make choices in life, and I made my choice 15 years ago.
Yes, and of course you love Indonesia.
Yeah, of course, I love being here.
Saya ke Sabreena lagi. Sabreena, tadi kita juga ketahui ya bahwa kamu pernah main untuk Persija, you play for Persija and you going to Australia and playing there. Apa yang kamu rasakan bermain di Indonesia dan juga saat di Australia?
Ya, susah banget sih perbedaan.
Banyak banget nggak bedanya? Mana yang lebih menghargai kamu? Ini penting banget soalnya.
Jauh banget sih, tapi I wish.
Bukan karena kamu ini kan sepak bola wanita nih, ini penting banget begitu. Kita hari ini tuh orang tuh mindsetnya sepak bola yang laki kan kalau di Indonesia.
Enggak sih, sekarang udah beda.
Kalau di Australia, apakah di sana lebih terwadahi dengan baik gitu?
Yeah, of course, karena the team in Australia is very good. Mereka World Cup.
Okay.
They held the World Cup as well, so for Australians it's a normal thing to play football for women's.
Okay.
Kalau di sini ya mulai lah, udah open minded.
Mulai oke.
Iya. Kamu cewek main bola.
Benar. Pertanyaan-pertanyaan kayak gitu yang paling berat ya. Nah ini aku juga pengen nanya, stigma masyarakat Indonesia terhadap pemain sepak bola Indonesia karena kamu terjun di dalamnya. Apa yang pernah kamu rasakan dan itu harusnya tidak boleh gitu?
Well, I feel like everyone has opinions. I cannot say what they cannot say. Everyone's gonna say something whether I like it or not. Tapi kan semua orang nggak tahu di belakang layar. Mereka tahu cuma di depan layar.
Yeah.
So if they have an opinion, it's up to them to believe it or not. Tapi mereka juga harus open minded bahwa ada banyak stories dari not only from the front, tapi di belakang juga. It should be from like, let's say wasit kan.
Yeah.
We don't know what something could happen in wasit or not. Tapi hopefully enggak. And I don't know. I don't really mind what people say. It's not my problem as long as I know the truth.
Of
my
course.
family knows the truth. My
friends
know the truth. Everything else doesn't matter to me.
Oke, ini jadi pertanyaan terakhir juga. Kalau kamu mungkin bisa memberikan semangat untuk mereka yang sedang bertanding hari ini, apa yang ingin kamu katakan khususnya kepada Timnas Indonesia pastinya?
Of course, I wish them all the best. No matter the outcome, it's still the World Cup, it's a langkah.
Iya, hanya pertandingan, betul.
Ini udah bagus banget mereka dipilih. If they're dipilih itu berarti mereka jago dan ada kesempatan kan.
Betul.
So this is a learning lesson for them and it's a step ahead buat sepak bola Indonesia. So I wish you all the best. Wishes for U-17.
And hopes for Timnas Indonesia.
Okay.
Yeah, what can I say? For me, I hope they will all the games, of course, but I know it will be difficult, but there's always a proud, and I think showing every game the maximum of yourself is sometimes more appreciated than only the results. So I think if they give it all, I think the people of Indonesia will be proud of them. And I think everyone has to be proud that they can represent the World Cup in Indonesia. So that's for me the most important thing. That such a big event is represented by Indonesia.
Okay, this is the last. Kita saat ini lagi ada di program Sportify. Please say bye, sahabat Sportify.
Sahabat Sportify. Halo sahabat Sportify.
Sehat-sehat di sana.
Sehat-sehat di sana.
And you please say we are now in a program Sportify.
Okay.
So can you say halo sahabat Sportify? Just stay healthy.
So just like halo sahabat.
Sahabat
Sportify.
Sahabat Sportify.
Yeah, and then just say stay healthy.
Halo sahabat Sportify, stay healthy.
Yeah, thank you Sabreena, thank you Radja, nice to meet you, stay healthy. Ya, baru saja saya ngobrol bareng bersama dengan Radja Nainggolan dan juga Sabreena, yang pasti pertandingan yang hari ini diadakan di Indonesia semoga berjalan dengan baik dan juga bisa menjadi hiburan tersendiri untuk seluruh masyarakat Indonesia. Aulia pamit, bye.